Deborah McGuire. This 38-year-old Chicago musician and theology student has a tough battle on her hands this time of year. She suffers from seasonal affective disorder, better known as the winter blues.
On a bad day, I stay in bed longer than I should. Some days I'll stay in bed all day. If I start to feel guilty about that, well, then I'll stay in bed even longer.
Seasonal affective disorder affects millions of Americans. Dr. Maria Caserta, an associate professor of psychiatry, says it's triggered by the lack of sunlight and longer periods of darkness associated with the winter months.
That people get depressed in the winter time, almost exclusively, but certainly primarily in winter time, and then feel better. The depression lifts in the summertime.
Dr. Caserta says patients diagnosed with the SAD experience various symptoms, including increased appetite and weight gain, the need for more sleep, a lowered mood, and a loss of concentration, especially at work. Studies conducted by the Mayo Clinic find that at least 10 to 20% of the U.S. population suffers from seasonal depression, yet many have their doubts about what causes their darkened mood.
To think that it could just be the sun or the clouds or the things that happen every day, that was very defeating. I refused to believe that for a long time.
Research from the National Institute of Mental Health says women in their late 30s are more likely to develop SAD. Night workers are especially susceptible because they sleep during the day when the sun is shining. But seasonal affective disorder can strike anybody. But there is a way to shed light on this often debilitating problem. Dr. Caserta says instead of medications, some SAD sufferers are turning to new lighting devices to beat the blues. One is called a dawn simulator. It attaches to a bedside lamp. It begins illuminating a room about 45 minutes before you awaken. It allows you to rise to a makeshift sunrise instead of the darkness of winter. There's also a light box. It's used for about 15 to 45 minutes a day. It sits on a table and shines directly into the user's eyes. Dr. Caserta says these lighting devices are safe, natural, and effective.
It's probably one of the most effective treatments we have in psychiatry or even in medicine, is that people who have seasonal affective disorder and use the lights, they will feel about 90% better in a week.
Well, ask your doctor for more information on bright light therapy for seasonal affective disorder. There are 2 websites that sell those devices. Link to them through our website at abc7chicago.com. Lots of work being done on that.
Yeah, and we need to get some more lights. We're some of those night workers who are affected by the...
And I feel it, too.
Yeah.
But you got one of those lights anyway, some kind of light, right?
One of the alarm clocks that wakes you up with light, which is just a more gentle way to wake you up.
Does it help? That answers that.
It's still early. It's 4 minutes before 7. When we come back, a final check of the weather. We'll see if we're going to see some sunshine, and we'll check the roads. We'll be right back.
Which pet got the free food at Petco? The one with the Pals card, of course. Just buy 10 bags of your favorite premium dog or cat food and get 1 bag free. Kinda makes you want to show off. Petco, where the pets go. Got your free Petco Pals card? It's the way to save at Petco. Now Pals members save $1 on already specially priced 40-pound bags of select Science Diet dog food, and buy 10 bags of Science Diet and get a same-size bag free. Petco, where the pets go.
What is it about the night that makes kids' flu symptoms seem worse? Introducing Dimetapp Nighttime Flu, specifically created for nighttime flu relief, so they can rest. And so can you. New Dimetapp Nighttime Flu puts the flu to rest.
It's important to take care of yourself. It's also important to talk to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Prempro. I'm glad I did.
You just got to get into Montgomery Ward's going out of business liquidation.
For drastic new discounts on Ward's entire selection of fine jewelry.
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
Now take 50 to 70% off all diamond, gold, and gemstone fashion.
Nothing will be held back.
Save up to 40% off domestics and housewares.
30% off all women's apparel, shoes, and accessories.
And for your Valentine,
50 to 70% off all fine jewelry.
Only at Montgomery Ward's historic
going out of business liquidation.
The only sale
that really matters.
Now you can spend less time copying and more time doing business, thanks to a connected digital office.
Yes, Icon!
Finally, an efficient copy center that can actually make a CFO happy.
Yes, Icon!
Imagine printing 1,500 bound manuals in 10 different cities at the last minute.
Yes, Icon!
When it comes to communicating any kind of business information, imagine what Icon can do for you.
We understand you have a weather system moving through your area today. Well, we have a weather system moving through our area too. Hold on a minute. Oh, there it goes. For information on the vacation in the warm and sunny United States Virgin Islands, call your travel agent or 800-372-USVI.
21 degrees out there right now at O'Hare. Other numbers for you include 25 at the lakefront, 24 at Midway. Temperatures are slowly going to fall through the afternoon. We will also see the winds kicking up, some flurries coming down here throughout the afternoon too. Roz?
Nothing unusual out there. We still have leftover delays on Route 53 in both directions around Palatine Road, where we had the earlier crash, and an earlier stall on the Dan Ryan Bridge near Cermak, causing some delays there. Travel time's pretty average. Leah?
Thank you, Roz. And if you are a golf lover, be sure and join us tomorrow morning. The Chicago Golf Show gets underway this weekend. We're going to show you new equipment that's available to help you better your game. That's tomorrow morning. We start at 5 a.m.
Tracy, you're going to be doing that, right, Tracy?
Yes. Had my first golf lesson of the year last weekend. Yep. Ready.
Your game is going to be outstanding this year.
Look at her.
She's ready.
We'll see. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for being with us. Good Morning America is coming up next.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There is so much out there in the rest of the world which is just plain interesting.
For reporting that's informed, intelligent, original, Peter Jennings on World News Tonight.
The FBI joins a manhunt for 6 Alabama prison inmates, 3 of them convicted murderers who escaped by slipping under a 5,000-volt fence. 3 of the inmates have already been spotted on a surveillance tape in a nearby convenience store. Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
And I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Thursday, February 1st, 2001. And in a moment, we're going to go to live shot near Birmingham, Alabama, where authorities plan a press conference today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. There are new leads in the hunt for the fugitives there. There have been sightings, and we're going to bring you the latest on that story just ahead.
And we have a lot more on the show today, just to run down some of it. The exclusive story of a 3-year-old girl we first told you about last summer. She weighed 120 pounds at the age of 3. Authorities took her away from her parents. She is now slimmed down, back home. We'll bring you the story in just a little while.
And also coming up, 10 years ago, she was the rising star in tennis, but she went through such a rough and rocky period. Well, now Jennifer Capriati is celebrating an amazing comeback win at the Australian Open, and she is with us this morning.
Patty Hearst is now talking about her presidential pardon for the first time. We'll hear some about that. We'll hear from the heroic Photoshop clerk who averted that Columbine-style attack at a California college. All that, plus a judge has ordered a Kennedy cousin to be tried as an adult for a murder committed 25 years ago. So a very full show.
We do, but let's begin with the news, and Antonio Moro at the news desk. Antonio.
Thank you, Diane. Good morning, everyone. President Bush's most controversial cabinet nominee, John Ashcroft, is expected to win his battle for confirmation as Attorney General today. The Senate is winding up a contentious debate in which many Democrats questioned Ashcroft's ability to enforce laws he vehemently opposed as a senator. California legislators worked well into the morning on a $10 billion plan to end the state's power crisis and save utilities from bankruptcy. The Senate approved the plan, but the Assembly narrowly rejected it. Sponsors hope to win final approval after making some revisions later today. Analysts expect more rate cuts from the Federal Reserve in the next few months as the central bank tries to reignite the economy. Yesterday's half-point cut came as no surprise. It had little impact on Wall Street. A skier convicted of negligent homicide in the death of another man on the Vail, Colorado slopes has been sentenced to 90 days in jail. At his sentencing, 21-year-old Nathan Hall tearfully apologized to the family of the man he killed.
I stand before you guys knowing I've taken a human life, a life obviously very special and valued by a lot of people.
Hall admits he was skiing too fast, but says it was an accident and that he should not have faced criminal charges. Tiger Woods is deciding this morning whether he can defend his Pro-Am title at Pebble Beach. After a practice round, he collided with an aggressive autograph seeker. Woods ended up limping with a sprained knee. Finally, the movie they might call Nightmare on Pennsylvania Avenue. Wes Craven, who carved out his reputation directing such slasher classics as Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, has reportedly turned his cameras on the Oval Office. He recently spent 3 hours following Bill Clinton through the White House, including areas that are normally off limits to the public. Craven plans to make it into a documentary that will be shown at the Clinton Library. That's a look at the news at 7:03. Time now for the weather and Tony Perkins. Tony, another suggested title, Scream 4.